I decided to become an investigator because it's a career where you're constantly having to learn, you're constantly having to do research, you're constantly encountering situations that you've never encountered before. And if there's anything that people that know me well will tell you, they will tell you that I get bored very easily. So by pursuing a field where I'm having to learn new things every day, I made sure that I was able to maintain interest in my career from day to day and from year to year. To be honest, I don't know that I really had any idea of where I was going when I started my career. I was fresh out of college, fresh out of grad school, um, and like so many with my generation, had a lot of student loans. So when I started my career, I was looking for something that would fulfill me intellectually, but that would also provide me with the means that I needed to help finance my education. So I don't think I really had a solid idea of where I wanted to go when I first started, but once I got into the field, I knew that I just wanted to become one of the best field examiners that my agency could use. So throughout my career, I've focused on purposefully seeking out cases that are more complex, that have new issues that I haven't dealt with before, and that challenge me. So where I hope to go from here is I hope to continue to learn more about the acts that we enforce, and to become the best investigator that I can become. When I started with the agency, I started at the same time as a couple of other girls who had come from labor law programs or labor grad programs, and I was very unsure of myself. I felt like sometimes the questions that I might be asking may have seemed dumb to them. And if I could go back in time and give myself one piece of advice, it would be, don't be afraid. Don't be nervous that you don't know something. I later found out that those same people were having the same feelings. So it doesn't really matter, in my view, it didn't really matter that I didn't come from a labor law background. It was very much on the job training, which they also received, despite having gone to those programs. So I would tell myself, don't be afraid, don't be nervous, just give it your all. Uh, I'm proud of the wealth of knowledge that I've gained about the National Labor Relations Act. When I started my career and started working for the agency, I had actually had very little exposure to labor relations. The graduate program that I graduated from focused heavily on a lot of the skills that we use in my job: interview skills, research skills, writing. But in terms of the subject matter that we deal with, I had never been exposed to it before. So knowing what I've learned in the past 5 years, where I was 5 years ago in terms of my understanding of our act and the rights that our act gives, the citizens of our country, and knowing where I am now, I'm very proud of the education that I've received from my job. I do. I think that, the federal government really has stepped up and has become somewhat of a role model in terms of helping employees balance their lives at home and their lives at work. My agency, for example, has a variety of flexible schedules that range from flexible start times to where the employee has much more control over when they begin and end their day from day to day. There are schedules that employees can work where the employee has a day off every week or every other week while still maintaining the 40-hour a week or 80-hour pay period standard. I'm personally very proud of the work that our federal government has done in promoting the idea that employees really do have lives at home that are very important, that it's critical that they learn to balance with their lives at work. The best lesson that I think that we can teach young girls and women is to be unapologetically you. We still live in a society where oftentimes girls are taught that they're supposed to behave a certain way and act a certain way and be a certain way, look a certain way. And there is no right way to look. There is no right way to act. There is no, there are no right hobbies to have. I think that it's important to teach young women that it's okay to be yourself and it's okay to be different from the crowd. That's what makes you you and that's what makes you special. One of the things that I really enjoy doing after a long day at work is I really enjoy exercising. About 2 or 3 years ago, I joined a boot camp that a friend of mine was running. He had started his own company, his own fitness company. He had asked me a few times to come to his boot camp, and I was always, kind of nervous about it. I didn't really feel like I would be athletically capable of what the boot camp would demand. So I joined the boot camp, and it's totally changed my life. I wish that I had figured out earlier on that it was so important to keep a healthy lifestyle and to stay active. After graduating high school and college, and it really helps with relieving stress. Getting outside for an hour a day really does help lift your mood, reduce stress, and it keeps you healthy. So that's what I like to do after work. The advice I have is to never lose your thirst for knowledge. Because as an investigator, you're always going to be learning new things. You're always going to be encountering problems that you've never encountered before. And so the moment you lose your thirst for knowledge is the moment you're going to lose interest in your job. So I would encourage you to come in with a healthy appetite for information and knowledge, and you'll do great.